Good morning and welcome to the Forex Daily Update, brought to you by Pepperstone on Tuesday the 27th of November 2018. I'm Darren Sinden and you can follow me throughout the day on Twitter by using @DS_Pepperstone. Okay, let's kick off as ever with a look at the overnight changes and price moves to be aware of. And some of the majors have been fighting back against the US dollar. Euro dollar, the euro gaining by 0.14% against the US currency, trading at 113.4150 shortly before we recorded the video. We've also seen gains from both the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar, the Aussie adding 0.22% against the greenback. And so starting the week, if you like, on the front foot there, both the Antipodean currencies. And it's a similar story from Mexico. Obviously, the Mexican peso has been under pressure after recent developments with the US at the border. However, yesterday the peso was able to gain 0.27% back against the US dollar, trading at 20.5612 shortly before we went live. The other gainer, the South African rand, continuing to make incremental gains against its US rival, adding 0.13% yesterday against the US dollar. Dollar index for its part also edging higher, trading this morning at 96.98. That's off the top. It has been higher, testing back to 97, but we're just below that level as I speak. Okay then, what's on the calendar? Events that may move the markets today. No high impact data per se, but plenty to keep our eye on and be aware of. We'll start at 7:45 this morning with consumer confidence data for November out of France, and that'll be followed at 9 AM GMT by business confidence and consumer confidence data out of Italy for the month of November. We jump forward then to 11 AM and cross over to the UK for the Confederation of British Industry Distributed Trade Survey, and that's data again for the month of November. And then another pause until 13:30 GMT when we jump over the Atlantic for the first of the day's central banker speeches, and in this instance it's FOMC member Clarida that will be speaking at 13:30. 13:35 sees the release of Red Book Index data for the week of November 23rd. This is a rolling count of like-for-like sales across retailers in the USA. And then 5 minutes later at 1400, we shall have the S&P Case-Shiller Home Price Indices for the month of September, and its colleague figure, shall we say, the Housing Price Index, also for the month of September. Then at 1600, ECB board member Mersch will be speaking. At 1630, we'll have a 4-week T-bill auction in the States, and that'll be followed at 1800 by a 5-year Treasury note auction out of the US as well. Then at 1930, FOMC member Bostic is speaking. At the same time, FOMC member or Fed member Evans will be speaking, and then the Fed's Esther George will complete the trio of US central bank speeches today. And then at 2000 GMT, we'll hear from the Reserve Bank of New Zealand as it releases its most recent financial stability report. And to round proceedings off at 21:30, we shall have the API weekly crude oil stocks for the week of November 23rd. Okay then, breaking news and comment that's caught my eye overnight. And first of all, Donald Trump has issued fresh threats of tariffs on trade with China ahead of the key G20 summit. And Mr. Trump has said that he could place tariffs on imported iPhones and other electronics in an interview he gave with the Wall Street Journal yesterday. China's industrial profits growth has slowed to 13.6% per annum in the year to October, down from a prior read of 14.7%. We'll look a bit more closely at Chinese growth a little later on in the video. The Japanese Parliament, the Diet, will vote on a new immigration bill today in a move aimed at opening up the country to foreign workers after decades of closed borders. And of course, Japan does need foreign workers with an ageing population and a rising number of job vacancies and very low unemployment. It's essential that they do pass this legislation. Okay, food for thought, something to take away with you into the trading day and beyond. And why not think about this? A Chinese survey of economists has found that China's growth could slow to 6.3% in 2019. Growth in the country is already at its lowest levels since 2009, according to data from Wells Fargo Research. And the issues around trade with the USA will take on added significance against this background. So what happens at the G20 over the weekend and beyond, could really matter in 2019. And here we see the chart from Wells Fargo showing the gradual slowdown of growth in China and the flatlining really of corporate profits there. And we're possibly about to cross over that Rubicon today, or in the near future I should say. So food for thought and something to consider as we approach the key summit at the weekend. Right, please take a moment to read this risk warning. Trading CFDs and foreign exchange on margin can be a risky business. If you're in any doubt about those risks or the suitability of leverage products for you, then please do contact your Pepperstone account representative and do take a moment to read this risk warning thoroughly. Thank you for your time today.